What's up, collectors? My name is Joe. Welcome to the channel and welcome to another episode of Statue Talk. Statue Talk is a show where I share my thoughts and opinions on upcoming statue previews, pre-orders, share with you some updates to my collection. Now, thanks for joining me on this week's episode. Let's hit the music. Hello, collectors. You all are staying safe and healthy. I'm on vacation this week, so I am pretty good. So staying healthy is kind of a matter of perspective. I feel like I'm losing my mind lately. Just crazy. COVID is driving me crazy. Even though we're starting to come on out the other side, or at least it appears to right now. Well, we're still not there yet. So I'm getting a little stir crazy here, but it could be worse. We're safe, we're healthy. I hope you all are too. An interesting week this week. We got Sideshow Con, or Sideshow New York Comic Con this week. We'll be covering some updates from there, and also was struggling with my PC again this week. I was wondering if I was even going to be able to shoot this episode. There were like 3 days where my PC would not boot up again. I think I have it handled. I think everything is good to go. Been playing games on it, been streaming a little bit on it, so we should be able to get this episode out. Also shot a couple of unboxing videos. Did a big video where I unboxed a bunch of Hot Toys, a couple of 3-0 figures, a life-size Chucky doll, which I also did a full video on that Chucky as well. So go on over and check those out. This week, we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to jump into Sideshow's New York Comic Con. I'm shooting this on Thursday, so if anything comes out on Friday, which it might, but if anything comes out on Friday, I might miss it. So I'm going to pull up some videos, kind of skip around. We'll check out some of those new reveals that Sideshow has come out with so far this week. All right, so let's jump right into it. Sideshow's New York Con. They kind of did something similar for San Diego Comic-Con, where they kind of had their own mini-con there at Sideshow headquarters. Other companies have started to do kind of similar items, at least in kind of like showcase form, like Prime One Studio did their video, which we talked about last week. Sideshow is kind of trying to capture that con feel with their cons, kind of have like set up a little mini booth, show off the statues. They do have some YouTubers there as guests, like Gem Mint Collectibles and whatnot, because that was a big part of the cons, is YouTubers, statue channels going there and shooting videos of the booth. That was always fun. Everybody trying to get those first videos up from the booth tour. Not me though. I usually working during the cons and just doing like virtual booth tours for myself. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, virtual booth tour. So we got day one. Not going to roll the whole video, just kind of going to jump around and take a look at some of the featured items there. Because Lord knows you don't want to sit and look at Hot Toys for about 15 minutes. Well, maybe some of you do, but there's some stuff on here that you just don't want to look at for as long as they have us look at it. So I do have the video muted, so it's just going to be my commentary with the Mandalorian from Hot Toy, which I just during my unboxing was kind of more like a haul video. I kind of took them out of the cardboard, but I haven't opened up the figures yet. I'm going to do a video of the figures. I've got this guy there as well, so be looking forward to. He's sitting right here. I can touch him right now. So. Yeah, so they're doing some interviews and some giveaways, and they got like commercials that they're kind of putting in. They're kind of putting in some of their shows, but this is that Avengers Assemble line. So this is their smaller scale, 1/5 scale line, which is really turning out well, really turning out pretty good. So these are kind of more reasonably priced, or they're priced more along the lines with what we used to pay for quarter scale pieces in the past, but they look really good. You know, they're a smaller scale, so they don't take up a lot of real estate. Just looking at the videos, looking at those bases there. So Black Panther looking really good, probably a really popular character right now. I have them in quarter scale pieces, but I do like these Avengers Assembles statues. They kind of have similar bases, looking like they're in a battle. Kind of New York City, that famous Avengers scene where they're all fighting New York City. So it has that feeling, even though these statues aren't from the movie, but it does have that feeling like they're all together. And you get to see the newest statue there with Thanos. They've got these nice backgrounds for their displays. Kind of reminds me of I'm sure it reminds you watch Batman Statue Collector. He has kind of like a background behind his Batman statues, which is really nice. They keep saying how all of these are sold out. So these statues seem to be much more simple than their quarter scale cousins. It looks like both in sculpt and in paint. It looks like he's smashed an Avenger logo there. So right now we're going to take a look at some Spider-Man figures or Spider-Man statues that they have on display. We've seen these many times before. Kind of their updated premium format Spidey, which I like the previous version to this. I still have him on display. I thought Kato was going to buy him from me. I don't necessarily want to sell him, but Kato did buy the Green Goblin from me, and but he didn't get permission from his girlfriend to buy the premium format. So I really like this, but it's not. It wouldn't be a replacement for the premium format I have. Now I've got this border around here. That's just how I have my border set up to view my desktop when I'm looking at a gallery to sort of trim away, the browser bars and all that stuff. I'm not specifically trying to cut out Sideshow's logo or anything. I do like that base. It is a pretty good base. We got that Spidey and Venom kind of battle diorama, smaller scale. They have been doing these good fight scenes. They've been doing a pretty good job on them. I really like the look of that. That's really good. Smaller scale, but because you got two characters there, kind of still fits in the collection. It's really nice. All right, now we're gonna go over to a couple of the new Iron Man pieces. They've got a couple of variants that they're showing us, but this is got two new. They're calling them Maquettes. So I really do like the new Mark 7. I think the base is awesome on here. That light up feature is freaking fantastic. Like, that's crazy good. I'm not adding any more Avengers or the only Marvel pieces I'm adding are cosmic right now. I was previously collecting the Avengers, but I'm going to start moving them out. I've already moved out Captain America, Thor. But if I was still collecting them, this probably would have been the Iron Man that I would have pulled the trigger on, because I really like it, even though I'd much rather have a comic version. And once again, this is a movie version of Iron Man, which is fine, but we really kind of wanted a comic version. We got a comic version with the 5th scale, but I don't wanted a quarter scale comic version, kind of like their old school one. But I don't think putting this in your Avengers collection, if you had the comic versions, putting a movie Iron Man, anybody would really have much to complain about that. That base is awesome. Probably going to be an expensive piece. I'm guessing this guy's gonna push like $800. So now we got the Iron Man Mark 43, which is a variant, they're calling it. So just a older Iron Man statue that they've repainted to make a new Iron Man statue. Some people won't like this, but they've done this many times in the past with Batman, especially. I don't think they've ever done it with an Iron Man statue. And this statue's kind of old. Usually they do it a lot sooner. This statue's original has been out for a few years, but this is a good, decent statue. A little plain, but good pose, good armor. They just really, with these Iron Man statues, you really have to get the paint right. I think that's key. Looks pretty good. He'll be cheaper. He'll be cheaper than the other Maquette for sure, because obviously he doesn't have that base. He's less dynamic. So gotta kind of have an expensive one and then a little bit of a cheaper one. Right now we're taking a look at Sabretooth, and who's next to him, that new Wolverine statue, which a lot of people are kind of on the fence about. I think the sculpt is good. I am not sure about the pose. And maybe from the right angle, and maybe how I would picture it, I would picture that Sabretooth and that kind of Wolverine kind of, angled in towards each other, kind of, in a battle scene. Unfortunately, they don't have them displayed like that. But I think if you pose them in the right direction, you have them in a spot where they can face each other, then that makes sense. But if you just have Wolverine on his own, depending on his angle, that might not work for you. But I definitely think these two are companion pieces. They should go together as a pair. They should be put in a place, either a Besta or a shelf where they can. And I don't know. They should both be able to fit into a Besta, I would think. They don't look like they have big bases. Maybe I spoke too soon. I do like the sculpt. I think he looks pretty good. I already have a yellow costume Wolverine. The sculpt is maybe an improvement on that. Looks like he has some hair on his arms, which is, one thing I look for in Wolverine right away is how hairy he is. And looks like they did get the hair on his arms, which is kind of one of my complaints with the older brown costume. Is he didn't have any hair on his arms. He had shaved it right away. I already have two Wolverines. Wolverine's kind of one of those characters you can have multiple statues of. Without Sabretooth, though, I don't know that I would get this by itself, but I do like the sculpt. By itself, it probably doesn't make sense. Really is going to have to be paired with that Sabretooth statue. Now we do get to take a short look at the Hot Toys. Because I do collect Star Wars Hot Toys, so I just wanted to take a look at this. Nothing we haven't seen already. Coming soon, October 8th, that's a Death Watch Mandalorian figure. I did order the Darth Maul, but that cardboard box back there is just, it's cardboard. It's not like a plastic box. So we get to see Ahsoka in person, which I'm really excited about. So of all of these, get that big shot. With all of these, I didn't order a Luke because I have the previous version of that Luke. I did order a Lando. I have a Boba Fett. I have Vader. I did order Obi, Anakin, Darth Maul, Rex, of course, and Ahsoka. So they have the Hot Toys' Child on display too. I don't have that one on order. I actually think the Sideshow one looks better. I'm not gonna really do that one. I'll have my little 6-scale Baby Yoda that comes with the Mandalorian later on. All right, going into some Iron Studios. Got some 10th scale, and they're calling their Minico figures, the kind of cartoonish looking ones. So got Silver Samurai, pretty good. Like I said, Iron Studios is doing really great things with their 10th scale pieces. We get to take a look at Deadpool here. We've seen this before. I think we have seen this before. And looks pretty good. I like the little stuffed animal down there at the bottom. These are kind of their smaller, kind of cartoony figures. Minico, they're calling them. So they got Minico Hulkbuster, and they have a Minico little Hulk back there too. And then they did take us back to Wolverine and Sabretooth. They wanted to show them from the back. I guess looking at this, I think kind of my the paints look a little bit different on them. Like Wolverine's more of a matte and Sabretooth's more of a gloss. So they kind of they need to match their companion pieces. I think they should have matched the paint styles on them. kind of like because the old brown costume Wolverine is based in the snow too. He go more with this Sabretooth? I don't know. They got two brown costume Wolverines. They're both in the snow. Kind of interesting. But Wolverine's one of those characters you're going to get a lot of. Just cool because probably one of my favorite Marvel characters. And that's it for day one. We're going to check out day two. So day two, look, starring Gem Mint Collectibles, one of the most popular collectors in YouTube, almost at 100,000 Gem Mint. Remember when Gem first started, and a lot of comic books, a lot of beer drinking back in the day. It's kind of grown and just kind of done really well, and good to see him getting recognition from Sideshow. So that's great. We've got a Poison Ivy here from Tweeterhead, which they're showing us. Tweeterhead does a smaller scale, kind of more classic looking Batman statue. So this is their Poison Ivy. I think we've seen it. I think we've seen pictures of it, maybe teasers of it before, but this is looking good in person. Tweeterhead, I really like their stuff. They do great classic pieces, but she's looking good. We're heading back to Iron Studios. They've kind of switched some statues out here. So we've got a cave troll here from Harry Potter. I was originally going to say Lord of the Rings, but then I see Hagrid in the background, so I take that back. I totally take that back. Yeah, so this is from Lord of the Rings. Saw Hagrid in the background, and it kind of fooled me for a minute. I originally said Lord of the Rings, and then I saw Hagrid back there, and I was like, could this be from Harry Potter instead? But no, this is from Lord of the Rings, and this is a kind of a bigger piece. Probably still 1/10 scale, but bigger. And so now we'll take a look at the part of their Harry Potter. So we got Hagrid. Now we're going to take a look at Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. Looks pretty good. Iconic figure from the Mortal Kombat franchise. Shao Kahn on throne. Of course, it's 1/10 scale, so it's not going to get the same recognition as some of those other throne pieces, but 1/10 scale, again, Iron Studios looks pretty good. Right now they're going to take us to look at the Mandalorian with Child and the life-size figure. Like I said, we've gotten to see and look at both the Hot Toys and Sideshow's The Child. I think Sideshow's looks better. I noticed that the Hot Toys kind of had seams around the ears, and Sideshow's kind of looks better. So they collaborated with the VFX company that actually made the puppet. So now taking a look at the Mandalorian, this statue looks fantastic. It's very, very tempting to me. Luckily, I already have a Hot Toy with the Child already on order. I love how they did the hovering a Child kind of attached to the cape. So it looks great. I used to collect quarter scale Star Wars stuff before switching to 1/6 scale. Usually Sideshow doesn't get premium formats and new characters out that's quickly. This quickly. What's one thing I mentioned when I was going to open up all those Hot Toys is why I switched to Hot Toys is because you don't expect to see a new character out for a long time. But like with Hot Toys, this is, or with Sideshow, this is their first premium format, probably their only premium format from the Mandalorian, whereas Hot Toys has already shown off like 5 or 6, 7 or more different figures from the Mandalorian, whereas Sideshow only has this one. So you'll see a lot more variety from Hot Toys than you will with a premium format line. That's kind of why I switched to Hot Toys, but this looks really great. I moved my Bestas actually upstairs, my 1/6 scale figures upstairs, and but I still do have 2 premium formats. I have Anakin and I have Darth Malgus, and they're both upstairs too. One sitting on each of my Bestas, so I have one Besta that's empty. So I technically have room for one more, but I think I'm holding out hope that Sideshow will make a Darth Revan, and then that will be the one that goes up there. But I might be waiting for a long time, but I think this guy looks fantastic. All right, let's take a look at some Court of the Dead statues. I really do enjoy this line. They haven't been pushing out too many lately, have there? Kind of been switching directions, but I always enjoyed this line. You know, if I had a huge house with unlimited funds, you know, definitely would have been into this line, as I really dig the design. So really great, especially set up the way they're set up with that background. Again, I got a little bit I think a darker lighting on there too, or they're not as lit up. So really good. I think we've seen all of these before, so I won't spend too much time. All right, now we're going to look at the Alien Queen Maquette, which is a bust. A mythos bust is what they're calling it. Obviously not life-size, but that thing is freaking huge. That thing is freaking huge. I never, well, I guess we've seen alien busts before. And from, who is it? Cool Props. We've seen busts from too, but this is huge. Teeth look like they're a bit transparent. So they're calling this a legendary scale, which is about half scale. It needs to be shinier, I think. Maybe shinier, slimier. Maybe slimier. It's got some good detail. This has got to not be made out of polystone, right? This has got to be made out of PVC, right? Too big for polystone, I think. Would be too heavy. I think fiberglass and resin. So they're saying you can see kind of the inner set of jaws there. So 30 inches tall. And that's huge. It looks like they have some 3-0 figures on display, which I opened a couple of 3-0 the other day. That's the Bumblebee that I have. I also have Optimus Prime, but was tempted by this Genos and Saitama that they have here, but didn't really want to start yet another line. But they do good stuff. Let's just take a look at that Bumblebee, since I didn't actually show the figure itself. I just kind of again took them out of the cardboard during that kind of haul video. So I've got Bumblebee, I've got Optimus, I've got Megatron coming, not from the movie because he wasn't in the movie, Soundwave from the movie, and then Optimus and Megatron from the Netflix series. Right now we're going to take a look at Pop Culture Shock, which I've owned many Pop Culture Shock pieces in my collection. I actually only have one out right now. I've actually boxed up Charlie Nash and Goten. I'm gonna get rid of those and sell those. I was about to put Ryu in his box yesterday too, but I couldn't do it, so I put him back on the shelf. But they've been doing some really good 1/3 scale movie pieces. Been doing some good Turtles, been doing some good wrestling statues, and they did a good Conan. So we got Rocky Balboa, and I've owned a Rocky piece before, though, with this kind of tiger jacket and butt kiss in the back. But this is a boxing one, so the base looks cool. Gonna have those mixed media shorts. Pretty good likeness. I like it. I think it looks good. Let's say it's gonna have glass eyes. I think 1/3 scale is good for movie pieces. You can get a lot of more detail in it, especially get better likeness in the sculpt. You go 1/4 scale, even though my Rocky statue that was 1/4 scale was pretty good in the likeness department too. You can do really a lot better at 1/3 scale. I dig it. All right, heading on over to day 3. I don't know what these things are, but it's kind of these artsy styles that Sideshow is doing. Looks like they got some sort of Mystic Bun, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and Catgirl in the back. Sideshow likes to do a lot of stuff with different artists and sort of Lulu figure, but like a bunny riding a... I don't even know what that is, but we got going over to some more artsy stuff, more kind of artist specialized. So we got a Ramen Demon, a ram, and a giraffe from Gorilla Squadron. They look pretty cool. Go over to a couple of new pieces that I thought were fantastic looking. We've got 2 life-size busts, Harley Quinn and Joker. You know, we have some other companies doing busts out there, doing realistic looking busts, which look great too, but I love these comic book based busts. I don't collect busts. I did tell myself, though, if they ever did make another Joker and a Batman, I was going to buy them, which they have. That Batman bust is out already. And look at the detail in that mouth. Look at the stubble on his skin. His eyeballs look great. His hair looks great. That is so tempting right there. That is so tempting. You can see his pores. They say inside his nose too. It's sculpted inside his nose too. So if you got a look from the bottom, it looked pretty good there. That Harley looks fantastic. 27 inches tall. That's good. We need to sell more of these Marvel pieces. That looks awesome. Yeah, these busts are really, really fantastic. Got some good texture to her skin too. Yeah, it looks like maybe she has her arms behind her back, kind of in that pose, even though you can't see her arms. I think this is awesome. Right now we're going to jump over to some more Gotham statues, which I absolutely love. And did anybody doubt that we were going to get another Batman statue? Of course we are. So they've got the variant of that modern age Batman, which I passed on the black version. So I think I might pick up this blue version because I think I wanted to, have the OG premium format. I was looking for a newer version, and then we got the Black Canary here, which I didn't pull the trigger on that original, and I think I'm definitely going to pull the trigger on this one. She does have some mixed media in her leggings or fabric. Wonder how easy those are going to be to snag on and break, but paint looks great. They've got a difference in the paints here with the glossiness and the matte of the jacket, so it looks really good. Got like a purple down there on the base, which kind of gives like a light effect, which I like. I like the graffiti on there too. Look, you got some of that purple on her boots too. So I think she looks really good. Looks like she's about to get into a fight there. Get into some close-ups of that Batman. I'm not sure if it's the lighting or not, but the blue looks like really bright, like it's almost too blue. They're saying an edition size of 500 for a Batman piece. That's good. So he's not going to come with the batarangs. So I think maybe this, I think I might pick this one up. I think I'm going to pick this one up. Let me take a look at the modern Batgirl, which already have a Batgirl kind of classic version, but they've been upgrading each of these characters into a modern version, which I have not yet decided to upgrade anything yet because I like the classic premium formats. Probably going to upgrade that Batman. But this Batgirl looks fantastic. I think the classic Batgirl's kind of one of the better quality pieces in my collection. She looks good. Just keep giving us more and more Gotham statues. That'd be fine by me. And now they gotta show us some more of these Gotham statues. I gotta say, that's a reminder. I did upgrade one. I have upgraded one. Well, at least pre-ordered an upgrade to one. You see Bane standing out there. I did order that Bane too. And I gotta say, I am tempted to get this Harley Quinn as an addition to the classic Harley Quinn rather than a replacement for it. You really like the paint on there. Trying to see that Batman in the background too, though. I'm on the fence about that one. Roller skates on looks really cool. It would have been awesome if they could have put some real wheels on there. Not that it's needed, but it kind of would have set it apart. Yeah, that's a sculpted jacket. That's great. I like that a lot. Spent a lot of time on this one because I'm thinking about this one. Right, so I wanted to see more of that Gotham display and some of their statues on there. They said they were going to do it during their matinee show. It's actually coming up here in a little bit. Shooting this on actually Thursday morning, so I was looking forward to seeing more of that. I kind of want to see the blue Batman, crouched a little bit more. Kind of compare that between that variant that's going to come out and kind of see more of Bane and some of those statues in there. I thought it was a good con. I think a lot of collectors are comparing it to Prime One's showcase that they did, where they just came out with piece after piece after piece after piece after piece. And I think the two companies are very different. The statues that they make are very different. Prime One is going for big, over the top, thousands of dollars pieces. And Sideshow is kind of like mid-range, still high quality, but they make kind of more reasonably priced. They got all of those quarter scale licenses locked up. They got the comic life-size busts that are looking fantastic, super amazing, super tempting me, but I don't have room in my budget or room in my room for any of that. So those two busts really caught my eye. That Batman variant caught my eye. A lot of people are kind of debating on that Wolverine statue. I think you gotta you pose it, you pair it with that Sabretooth a certain way. I think it will look okay. But for me, I have a lot of those hot toys on order. I'm thinking about that new Harley Quinn and kind of debating on one or the other of the two Batman pieces. But thanks for Sideshow for putting on the con. That's a lot of hard work for them to go through and put that on for us to collectors. Of course, it's good for them, good marketing for them too. But I know it's a lot of hard work to put that on, and kind of gives us a little bit of sense of normalcy. We would be a lot of you East Coasters would probably be going to New York Comic-Con. They allowed some YouTubers in there, Gem Mint, so they're giving us a little bit of normalcy, though it's still kind of different than what we're used to. That's going to be it for this week's episode, just covering Sideshow's New York Con. We'll get into and get caught up with some of those other statue companies out there. Spent a lot of time with Prime One last week, who did put up a couple of their pieces for pre-order. I think that Alita diorama is going up for pre-order, and that Predator, which we talked about, went up for pre-order. But we'll get caught up on all the other companies next week. So as you may have noticed, for my collection, I kind of updated my room a little bit. I spent actually last weekend taking my three bestas that I had up against this wall back here. I actually had my Batman and Gotham statues up here. While I emptied those out, I put those upstairs, and now those have my 1/6 scale Hot Toys up there. I've got my Batman statues over here temporarily, and I have 2 3Q bestas that I have those in, and eventually those are going to move over to where the packs are now. That those packs are going to be replaced with some Maju cases at some point. And I plan on getting rid of a lot of my Marvel stuff, just keeping a couple of the cosmic characters, Thanos, Silver Surfer, and maybe Black Bolt. So did a lot of rearranging in my room. It took me like all day on Saturday. I moved those three 2Q Bestas, complete with their glass doors on, moved them up the stairs all by myself. It was a crazy, busy weekend, but hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of Statue Talk. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know if there's anything that you're going to pick up. What did you think of Sideshow Con? How did it compare with Prime 1's showcase? Did you expect to see this kind of stuff? Like, would you like to see something like this from XM Studios too? If you're into video games, you could check me out on Twitch 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I pop on and off again a couple of times if you want to come hang out, talk video games, talk statues, etc. Check out our podcast called Sloppy Talk. It's where the kid and I get together and just talk about our lives, talk about movies, talk about video games, everything that interests us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Keep up to date on all of my latest unboxings and reviews. And remember, collecting is more than just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. My name is Joe. Thanks for watching.